So, Chief Logan, I have been dying to interview you. You know that. I think it's been months. I've been trying to sit with this man, okay? He is Evanston royalty, so I feel so honored to be sitting here with you. So thank you so
Well,
much
thank you. I
for
feel
your
honored too.
time.
Yes.
Yes, your son Gilo, he told me, he said he's not big on interviews, Malika, but I'll try. I'll try. And I just kept trying. I was like,
Okay.
is he ready? Is he ready? Is he ready? So thank you so much
Okay.
for sitting with Evanston Live TV. Um, Chief Logan, I have the utmost respect for you.
It was great. It was an honor, to rise to those positions and to be there in a situation where I felt I could help the community. Being a police officer and one with some ranks and those kinds of things, and especially when I became chief of police, and to deal with some of the problems that we were having, like the gang situation that we were having in Evanston at that time, and starting the gang crimes unit and getting community people involved too to help fight the situation. And I think we did a wonderful job with that. But it wasn't just us and the police department, it was the community also.
Well, give us some insight into how you all got that under control, because Evanston isn't known for gang violence
Yes.
now. What did you all do
Well,
back then to get it under control with
well,
the community?
yeah, well, like I say, I started the gang crimes unit, and they were able to make some contacts out there in the community, and they dealt with the gang members out there in the community, and then with the community people who also helped do that. It wasn't just the police department, but the situation involved the community also, our gang situation, and with the gang unit and putting a stop to the gang situation. So it wasn't just one person doing it, but we had tremendous support from the community, tremendous support, and that really was helpful.
I just lost my nephew this summer, Xavier Joy, to gun violence. To this day, it's unsolved. I would love to know, when you say the community got involved and really worked with you with the gang unit, what did that look like? What did they do back then that's different, or what could we learn right now to help us with the gun violence that you all did back then?
Yeah, maybe different situations though down through the years, but the community people got involved. Well, they were with us, but they also got out there and helped out with the kids that were involved with the gang situation, and with us together, we were able to help put a stop to some of that situation. So it wasn't just the police department, but the community. A good portion of the community was involved, with us and helping us to solve that problem. And that's how we came to a solution to it. Like I say, it wasn't just us, the police department. I mean, we made the arrests and those kinds of things, and I met with the state's attorney and asked him to have one prosecutor assigned to the Evanston gang cases, and they did that, and that really helped. That was Daley, who later on became mayor in Chicago. Richard Daley, he was the state's attorney, yeah. And we met out there near the courthouse there and talked about it. He says, we'll take care of it. And that really helped, yeah.
So in terms of the community, were they calling and giving names? Were they, what were they doing that we're not doing today? Because it's out of control in Chicago. What aren't we doing that they were doing?
Well, with the gang crimes unit out there in the streets, they were able to communicate with people and get information. And that was very helpful. And the kind of information that they came up with really helped us with, to take the right steps to solve the problem. So, but here again, I just keep emphasizing that it was not just the police department, it was a community situation that resolved the problem here in Evanston. Very much so.
Now, you moving up in the ranks as a black man, I mean, we hear about so much racism in the police departments now. It's pretty much the KKK, but they've taken off the sheets and they've put on the badges, and what did you see? How did you handle that? Because I'm sure they were in the department back then.
Mm-hmm.
So how did they handle you being in charge? And I'm sure you saw some things, you know.
Well, I'll have to say that the members of the police department, they handled it very well.
Mm.
And there was no resistance because I was promoted or a sergeant, lieutenant, captain, nothing like that at all.
Mm.
They all came together, you know, and that's how we were able to solve a lot of problems, because we came together. We didn't have a situation where someone would say, "Oh, we don't want to be messing with him because he's a black guy or a black officer," or something like that. That didn't happen on the department, not at all. There was a lot of support there. Mm-hmm.
You think it was because it's Evanston?
Mm-hmm.
You think that's the difference?
Well, yeah, that's probably a big difference, I think, with it being Evanston, you know, with the relationships that we had with the community. That's all very helpful, very helpful. Mm-hmm.
Me growing up in Evanston and coming back, my experience with racism here, I mean, I don't have a problem with the police department. They've been very, very helpful. And, you know, I have friends who are on the force. But there is something in Evanston that's a little different. And my Pastor Neighbors, he calls it pernicious racism, where it comes off, in Evanston, it comes off very friendly. You know, they'll have you over for dinner, you know, coffee, and then things happen behind closed doors. You know, what would be your advice to police officers? Because I know some of them talk about the racism in the department. What would be your advice to them in handling racism right now?
Well, it's got to be a situation where we all got to come together, and we did that, and we did that with involving community people too, black and whites, not just one set of colors, but we got other people in the community involved too, and there were meetings with the police, with the gang crimes unit and police department, and those things all really helped. It wasn't just us coming in there and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do, and didn't do anything with the community or anything. The community was involved with us. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean just blacks or just whites. The community was involved because we were doing, the gang situation was not only just on the west side, but it was on you know, south, in Chicago, I mean in Evanston too, where we had some gang situations there. And the people came together with us and helped us, and we reached out to them, and they definitely did something for us and with us. It wasn't just us alone trying to say, oh, we're going to do this, we don't need nobody involved in all this and stuff, we can't get no help. But we didn't look at it that way. We looked at it the way that we say, yes, we can do this, and we can do it with the community involved. And that's how it happened.
Oh, so what about in terms of police brutality? So you know, we have stories out there about Stephon Clark and countless situations where young black men and women being brutally murdered by police officers. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, on my department, I think that we came pretty much together with the community, that our officers weren't out there doing that kind of stuff, you know, shooting people and killing or those kind of things. It was a community impact on the thing with solving this situation that we were having. And particularly, you know, when you look at the south end of town, where most of the people down there that were white people, even though there were some gang members down in that area too, but they still all came together. It wasn't just one group or one race or anything else. It was a together impact on our community that helped us resolve this situation.
I mean, well, outside of the gang violence, just innocent black young man is walking down the street and a Stephon Clark situation happens. I mean, he was in his grandmother's backyard. Did you witness any of those types, or questioned, or any of those types of things back then?
I have to say that there was very little of that as far as our officers mistreating people because of their color. And I didn't, I didn't see a lot of that situation. I can't even recall ever having to discipline anybody for that at all, you know. So, and again, that's one of the reasons that we were able to solve the gang problem, because the community was involved and not people doing things that hurt other people and so on and so forth. So it was definitely a community situation.
Do you think it's a community situation now, or do you think there's a difference now?
Well, I don't think that they have the same problem we had back there with the gangs and the gang killings.
Right.
They don't, it's not the same situation now, you see. And I think that, you know, and I can't say I'm not on the police department, but, you know, I don't know what kind of complaints they get or anything like that, but if they're doing that, but I don't hear a lot of that stuff happening, that the police officers are treating people, and particularly blacks and so on and so forth. But I don't hear that. So, but I can't say it's not happening, but I don't hear it at all, that kind of situation is going on here in Evanston.
Okay. So how many sons do you have?
2.
2? Was it rough, like them growing up under a lieutenant, a sergeant, a captain, a chief? Wait, Julie's over there like,
yes,
yes it was.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother interview, right?
Yeah. I don't think it was that bad though. I really don't. No. No, not at all.
What was advice that you gave to your sons growing up, getting them prepared for the world out there?
Yeah, well.
Because I'm sure, like, daily you saw things, you know.
Yeah. But, you know, certainly first, you know, about getting their education and helping people, working with people and coming together and those kinds of things, and not just going out there and saying, you know, being negative about everything, but coming together. And I think that my kids, I think they did a good job working with other kids in this community. Yeah, I think so. And I think it wasn't just because blacks. I think even some of the white kids, it was all to kind of come together.
Everybody came together.
Yeah, it was a different situation. Yeah.
So you promoted inclusion even back then, years ago. So Gilo's like diversity consultant.
Right.
Billy, what do you do?
I'm in real estate.
Real estate. Oh, I bet you got stories too.
Yes.
That's another interview.
Another interview. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, but I think the boys did very well. I think they did very well in associating with the people in the community, and that was it. I can't say that there were situations where I had to get on them about the way they were treating people, someone different color or something. That never happened. No.
Well, just being a father, outside of any race issues or anything, just being a father to, you know, raising 2 young black men. What were some of your concerns? Like, did you sit down and have real conversation with them? Because being a police officer, I mean, you're dealing with real deal stuff every day out there. Whereas most of us can actually close the door and pretend we don't see nothing, you know, but you're actually out there. You were actually out there. So what's your advice to young black men now that you gave to your own sons? Because your sons came up beautiful and successful and strong and amazing, so you did a great job. So what did you tell them, and what would you say to young men out there right now?
Well, certainly one, and I think they did that, is that build relationships and treat everyone fairly. Treat them just as you would like to be treated, and don't take advantage of situations and do things that are wrong to hurt or injure other people, regardless of their race. And I don't think that they ever did anything like that. I mean, you know, take advantage of that and be out there doing something to get somebody of a different color and all that comes. I don't recall them ever having that kind of a situation. And I think they had a good relationship all through schools and everything else with all kind of kids, you know. And I don't think there was any kinds of problems that I can recall. Yeah.
So you had a very successful career. You are a success. You're royalty here in Evanston. When you walk into a room, people are like, that's Chief Logan. And we all feel proud when you walk into the room.
Yeah.
Because you've done a lot for the community. What would you say were your most proud moments, and what were moments you wish, any regrets or anything you would have done over?
I can't think about too many things that I would have done over. I think that, with, building good relationships within the police department, between the members of the department, but also building relationships in the community. And regardless of whatever the color of the kids were, the people were, but building relationships. And that seemed to be a very important situation, the relationships that we built. And that's why I think that the foot patrols that are out there and gang crimes, I think that it built relationships in the community. And good relationships for the officers, that they had those kind of relationships. And I can say that there wasn't a lot of complaints that came into our department back then about some of my police officers mistreating people all the time and those kinds of things. I didn't get that kind of a situation. But we talked about how people will be treated in the community. We met, and we discussed situations and the way the situation should be handled and those kinds of things. And I think that the department, that they did that. I really do. That was what you've heard of, was his bodyguard. Have you heard that? Yeah, when he came to Evanston, me and my partner, Henry White, we were his bodyguard. And it was a wonderful relationship there. He was here for about 3 days or so, staying at the Orrington Hotel. And we would go in the morning up to the room, and that him and his comrades were there, and then we'd come on down with them. And we didn't drive them, but we followed the cars that they were in. And like I said before, maybe to the barber shop, a restaurant, pool hall, or wherever, in the church, and everything. We would follow them, and then we would escort them back to the hotel, and then get into there to get back into the place and safely and everything. So I think that was a good relationship. And as Dr. I'm sorry.
Did you all have, like, you and Dr. King have moments of just some deep conversation?
Yeah, we had some conversations, and
like what?
And then I can tell you the big one was the last day that he was here, and he thanked us. I don't know if I said this already, but he thanked us for protecting him, and he said because in many cities, particularly in southern states, he said the police officers were looking for reasons to arrest him. But he thanked us. He thanked our department, the chief, for taking those steps to protect him and build relationships with him. And I remember the last day that he was here, we had conversations about the fact that I was maybe thinking about changing jobs because there wasn't many black officers being promoted on the department at that time. And the first thing that he asked me was, he said, "Bill, how much education do you have?" And I said, "Well, I've got about 1.5 years or so. I had to drop out of college. I had a football scholarship, but I had to drop out to go join the military and the Air Force during the Korean War. And then when I came back, just looking for jobs and finally joined the police department." So he said, Bill, he said, "Hold on to your dreams. Hold on to faith in yourself. You can be anything in life that you want to be, but you must be prepared. And that your education will be the key to your future." And my family knows I took that very seriously. I went back to school at Northeastern Illinois University on evenings and weekends. And the military GI Bill paid for a good portion of that. And I did that for 2 years, close to 2.5 years, and I got my bachelor's degree. And but also as I started getting promoted on the police department, lieutenant and captain and deputy chief and so forth. And when the chief's position opened up, for the first time, the city of Evanston said the chief of police had to have a college degree. And I was prepared. And I became Evanston's first African-American chief of police. Yes. And thanks to I thank Dr. King for inspiring me to do that.
Wow.
So he inspired me very much to do that. Get your education. To get your education. That's what I did. And it certainly paid off. Yes, indeed. And then not only that, I think it paid off to see my kids, and they all went through college. They all got their degrees. My two sons and my daughter and everything. And that was great. That was wonderful. That was very good. And the other inspiration I had during those years too was my dad, and he pushed me too for about education, even though he didn't even have a high school education. Yeah, 8th grade or something like that. But he knew the importance of education, and he pushed me hard too, to get my education. Yeah, it was wonderful. Yes.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Did you have any? Did you ever meet Malcolm X?
No, I never met Malcolm X. No,
Okay.
no. Just Martin Luther King. And J. Edgar Hoover from the FBI, because I'm a graduate of the FBI National Academy. And we got that picture of my family at the graduation. There was about 75 or so of us in the class there, and there was only, I think only 3 of us were African American, But anyhow, on a social event that we had upon graduation, we had a big room and everything, and the families all came, were in there, and J. Edgar Hoover would come in, and he would just stand in an area, and people would shake his hands, and when he finished the night, he left. And then one of my sons said, "Dad, I didn't get a chance to shake hands with J. Edgar Hoover." And I said, "Oh, okay, we'll see about that." So I told my chief instructor what happened, and he said, "Okay, I'll tell you what, after the graduation ceremony, tomorrow I'll come get you all." And when the graduation ceremony was over, he came and got us, my wife and I, and the kids and everything, and took us to a room and back of the platform and stage there in the room, and there was J. Edgar Hoover. And as we walked in, he shook hands, and I think, I don't know if it was Billy or Gilo gave him the black handshake, and it didn't work. But he posed for that picture with us, and that was history. Yeah, J. Edgar Hoover. Wow. Yes. George Bush, yeah, George Bush. Well, I was one of the founders of Noble. You ever heard of that?
No.
Noble is the national organization of black law enforcement executives with over 3,000 members throughout the country. And I was one of the founding members of that organization.
Wow, you founded quite a bit.
Yes. Yeah.
I was reading up on you, and then talking to Peter, the chessman. I was like, this man is just...
Not only a chessman, but fam.
Fam
Fam
too.
Fam the chessman, yeah.
Fam is like Evanston.
Yeah.
You are not Evanston if you don't know nothing about fam.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes. Yeah, so I was one of the original founding members that came together to join the Evanston Community Foundation too. And then later I was on the board there. In fact, I just completed my, I think, 10-year term. And I got a little thing in there that shows it, but so I was involved with them, invite me like they invited me. Now I'm with the committee that's doing the celebrating Evanston that's coming up this year. And I'm on the board there.
Building community and relationships. That has been your life.
Yes, very much so.
Community and relationships.
Absolutely.
And education.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So I enjoyed all those kinds of things, and I'm still out there, still keeping busy. And like I say, I'm on the Rotary the club. I'm on that club, and I'm a member of the Levy Center. But I'm on the foundation committee, the board down there. So I'm on that one too.
Did you ever at one point feel like you have just totally overextended yourself?
No, not at all.
Extended yourself. That's a lot.
Yeah, not at all.
Most people in Evanston, there's so many events, and you sign up to be on board after board, committee after committee, and then you find you exhausted, but you just want to give and give and give.
Yes, you keep giving, yes. I feel very strongly about doing that.
So many of my viewers, we are past getting our education.
Mhm.
You know, that's pretty much
Mm-hmm.
behind us. What would be your advice to my generation,
Mm-hmm.
moving on to the next phase
Yeah,
of
well,
our life?
once again, I think I'd have to emphasize that situation that Martin Luther King emphasized to me. You know, hold on to your dreams, hold on to faith in yourself, but you got to be prepared. You got to. No one's
That's
just going to give
preparation.
you something.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, got to be prepared. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
There's nothing like when opportunity knocks and you are not prepared. That's,
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so.
You're like, this is perfect. I'm not
Yes,
ready.
yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Ready, ready. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This has been, I learned more about you. I mean, I hear so much about you
Oh,
out
yeah.
there in Evanston. Just sitting down and
Mm-hmm.
actually talking to
Well,
you.
I really appreciate that too. Yes, yes. So, and listen to the stories there. You know, yes. Mm-hmm. There's some good stories. Yes, indeed. And not only with the police department, but with FAM and the chessmen here. The chessmen now just 60th year. And you know that me and my partner Andy Rodez were police officer. We were partners. And one day we talked about the fact that we need to come together and do something in the community because we were seeing things patrolling the community that we didn't see when we were kids. And then we saw people that had difficulty with the money for scholarships. We saw people that had money problems with food and getting food, and particularly like at Christmas time. And that's why all these 60 years we give scholarships to students, and we might get a big whole U-Haul truck and load it up with used baskets of food, and we deliver them to different places that people are needy, and some of the organizations, and some of us to individuals that are needy. And it's a very touching situation to have people receive that, and that we deliver individually, and sometimes they break down and start crying, you know. You know, so there's some situations in there. I remember one grandmother, we delivered the basket, and she was a grandmother raising 3 kids. And we went back there, knocked on the door, went in, and when the kids opened the door, went in and took the basket in and greeted them and everything. And on the way out, the little kids shook my hands, and then the grandmother at the door, she started crying because she was so pleased to be able to receive that food. So those are the kinds of things that we try to do, and I feel very strongly about giving back and helping people in the communities, you know. And I know my dad felt the same way, you know, about doing that kind of situation and helping people. Yes.
You know, sometimes, you know, I meet and talk to a lot of people, and there's certain people, you know, you're sitting with an angel spirit. And I feel like you're that angel spirit. Like, there was probably a lot of darkness and just corruption in front of you, but you saw like right through it. You almost didn't see it. You just kept going and just thought about, I'm here on a mission. God sent me here on a mission.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
about community and building relationships.
Yes, 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 indeed.
So am I sitting with an angel?
Yes, sitting with an angel. Yes. Yeah, but just you know, I'm still involved. You know, I'm not involved in all those organizations because my tenure time was up on the Evans Community Foundation, and also I was on the Parks and Recreation Board for the city about 10 years. That my time was up on that too, and they gave me the little trophies about that situation. You know, but I'm still out there kicking with Chessman and the FAM and the Rotary Club and those kinds of things. So I'm still kicking there.
I see you everywhere.
Yeah.
You and Miss Morton, y'all be. I'm like, that's what I want to. Evanston is going through some cuts now. What is it? We got a $3 million deficit, and I know people are trying to get other programs going for kids. I think FAM is one of the strongest ones that we have in the community right now. What would be your advice to the next wave? It's, you know, they might not get the funding, like the city took the funding away, and you all had to create something. What do you think is needed right now? So
boy.
we got FAM. We
Yeah.
can't duplicate another FAM. We don't want to. FAM is just
It's a big
it's
program.
legendary,
It's a big
so-
program, yeah, but
what do you think we need next?
yeah, I don't know what the answer to that is, and, as far as something that the city would be involved in, you mean, or
Something we
or
would
just-
probably have to do on our own because
yeah,
it's like maybe snatching some funding
yeah, yeah, yeah,
away.
yeah,
Again, it's like another wave of it happening.
yeah,
What do you
Yeah,
think
true.
we would need right now? Because many of us get together and we think about what can we do to really make a difference.
yeah. Yeah, well, I think that perhaps we can look at trying to form a different organization. I mean, just look at my chessman club. All these years, doing things to help families and kids, and if hopefully we can find more organizations that would like to get involved in doing those kinds of things, and reaching out to our community and taking the sacrifices that it takes to do those kinds of things. Yeah.
Do you think times have changed? I mean, kids, to me, kids growing up right now, they are a lot different than when I was growing up. I don't know, do y'all see that? It's like something is different. something is different.
Yeah.
How do we reach them? Because I think they're seeing a lot more than my generation and your generation. It's a little more real for them. What do you think we?
Well, reaching is a tough situation, and I think that people have to get involved, in trying to come up with some programs and activities to reach out to the kids, and I think that's where we're probably not doing much right now than what's there now, but to reach out and try to come up with some other programs and activities that will help kids. Yeah.
Well, when I tell you it's an honor to sit with you because I know you are filled with gold, and that's why I'm digging. I'm digging because it's priceless, and you've seen a lot that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And the wisdom you can give me can help guide and the people out there watching this. So that's why I'm like on you. Now your sons are probably like, where is she trying to go with this?
I'm used to it.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, like I said, we saw a lot when some of us were police officers. We saw a lot out there that we didn't even know about was happening in the community. Well, just like I mentioned, the food and money and for education. When we were kids, I mean, we didn't know that other kids' parents didn't have money or that they didn't get food and all that. We didn't hear that. We didn't know that. I think it was when we became adults and we were out there and we were seeing this, as patrolling the communities, and we saw it. And that's when we said, we've got to do something about this, But I think coming up as kids, you didn't see a lot of that stuff. So I think that it's still upon many of us as adults to see those things and to take actions to try to help that situation. Yeah.
Well, I think it's more of that happening right now. It's a lot of kids out there with nothing to eat, going to school, hungry.
Yeah.
And I know we feed them like on the holidays, but we need to do something else.
Yeah. And that's one of the targets of our food baskets is we delivered, I think, to 3 different schools. Because the staff there have told us that the families and the kids are struggling, don't have it, and that's why we deliver a number of those baskets to schools, not the high school, but the elementary schools. We do that every year, because that there are kids that are struggling, really struggling, just don't have it,
Yeah, why don't you share with them how you were on a team of 3 who designed the logo for the Evanston Police Department?
For the police department?
Yeah,
the patch and everything. Oh, yeah. That was, I can't remember what rank I was. I think I was a patrol officer still, I think, when we came together to design the different patches and logo for the police department. and it was a committee, and we came together and we came up with that idea, and it was accepted, by the chief and the department with that our concept that we came up with. Yeah, yeah. We had received a call, and I think that the I don't know if she's a wife. I think she was a girlfriend. Said she called the police department. Said she was being held hostage by her boyfriend, and he was threatening her, and that he mentioned that they had a gun too. So a bunch of us responded. It was not just a house; it was like apartments. But we got in, and actually we rang the bell, and they buzzed it so as to get in. We get in, we go up there, and knock on the door, and the guy said, "We're not letting no police officers in here," And we said, "Well, we'd like to come in and talk and everything," but he asked us if we give up our guns. So we passed it back to another couple of other officers, and we went in there, and we sat around the table with him. And
Did he have a gun?
yeah, he had a gun. Yeah, but we were able to talk to him, got him to surrender the gun and
How
everything.
Did you do that? What did you say?
We just talked to them about what was right to do and what was the best thing for them in their lives, and that there's other ways to go in your life rather than this kind of a situation. So we were able to convince them to surrender the the gun and everything, and then that brought it into it. Yeah.
You got the award for that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. That was something else.
Did you stay in touch with that couple? The
Not
woman or
after,
the man?
not just, well, we were able to find the contact, what was happening between the two of them after, the arrest and those kinds of things. And the last things we heard that everything was pretty positive for them,
They stayed
Yeah.
together?
For a while I did, but I think they separated, later. Yeah.
What were you feeling in that moment? I mean,
Just felt I had to do something to help. Yep. Had to do something to help a situation, to help somebody's life. Yep.
wow.
So that's what we did. Yep. Yep. That was something else.
Did you go in with a game plan, or you just felt the situation and
Well, we
just
felt
came
we
to
would
what you need to say?
we see what the situation was, and then deal with the way that we wanted to deal with the situation. So that was very, very helpful. Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
awards have you won in your life?
Oh, I don't know.
Did you have any situations with a gang member, where you had to get
Oh.
run away from them, or,
To be involved in a physical situation, no. Well, I think one or two times might have had that, but the situation was solved by communicating. Yeah, communicating. Yeah, that happened a couple
communicate
times.
with a gang member? Like, what did you say?
Yeah, well, you just talked about that there's a better way,
Today.
better way to go with their lives, and see if something that we can do to help them, and those kind of things. And I remember that with some of those kids that we were able to help, and I remember one of them that wanted to go to college and wanted to go to, what's the one out east, right out, not Oakton College, but he said that he didn't have, and his parents had no transportation and no money for him to get there to school. And I talked to my man that had the bus company, and yeah, and he volunteered to pick the kids up that wanted to go and take them to school out there to Oakton every day, and then go back and pick them up. And that was very, very, very helpful. Not all of them, but we had a group of gang members together representing different functions, and they
Which
came.
gangs?
Some of the gang members that different,
It has
and
exact games in there.
yeah, and we were able to talk to them and convince them to do other things with their lives, like education and jobs and those kinds of things, and that was very helpful too.
So when you got them all in a room
Mm-hmm.
together,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what did you go in with a game plan with that one, or like what?
Yeah, just a plan to offer them help, to take a different direction with their lives than what they were doing.
So,
Hmm.
so these members came wanting a change. They were looking for a change.
They came, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they came. We discussed some things with them, yeah. So that was very helpful to some of the members, yeah. Yes,
I
indeed.
wonder, do you think that will work today? What do you think?
Oh, I don't know if it would work today or not, but we had to reach out, and I don't know how many. I'm not criticizing anything. I don't know how many other police departments do that, where they actually reach out and make attempts to help and to communicate with them and get them involved in doing positive things like their jobs and help them get jobs and things like that. And so I think that was very, very, very positive for us, with the situation. Yeah.
If we did another summit.
Hmm. When I was in high school, I wanted to take a typing class, so I took the typing class. And the problem was that my parents didn't have a typewriter at home. And so the teacher, we talked about it, and he told me to come in at some times when I had a break, or something like that, and even stop in after school, because I played a lot of sports, but there were times that I could stop in there and do my homework on their typewriter and everything like that. And that's what I did, and I got a passing grade as a result of that. Yeah, and I could type. And then when I joined the military, and they decided to send me to a communication school. And so I was sent out to, I think it was in Colorado, to a teletype communications for the Air Force men. And it was a long course, and there was probably close to 100 airmen in the class. And toward the end, I ended up being close to the top typist in the class. Yeah, and I think that teacher allowed me to do and everything. And as a result of that, when I left there, and then was shipped out to Japan during the Korean War, and I was assigned to the Air Force Communications Squadron headquarters in downtown Tokyo. And I was assigned to the communications section then. And on the shift that I was on, they gave me a top secret military clearance. And on the shift that I was on, whenever top secret information came on the was going to come up on I had to be called to receive that. And then with the commanding officers and wanted something had to go out, it was top secret. Then on my shift, I was the one that sent that information out. Yeah.
You want to tell me what?
And then one day I was called to come to one typewriter because some top secret information was coming in. And what it was a list of soldiers in Korea who had been killed. And on that list was my cousin, Andrew Franklin.
Captured.
Who would be?
He was captured.
No, he was after killed. He died and he was killed, right?
Oh.
It was captured.
Captured. Captured. I'm sorry. Yeah, captured. Yeah. And so I asked my commander if I could call home and let my family know, so they gave me permission to do that, let them know what the situation was. Yeah. So top secret clearance was amazing. Wow. And boy, it was something else, when the big commanders, generals, colonels, and all this, they had teletype communications back to the United States, headquarters there, or Pentagon, or whatever. And I had to be called, because I had a top secret clearance, I had to be called to be the one that they would bring. They'd have a big room, and those officers would come be there, and then they had the big screen there. But they have a runner come into me, and I'd type the information. And then it would come up on the screen. And then when the information came in, they could see the same thing, But it was all top secret information that I had to handle during that time. So that was very interesting.
You couldn't discuss it. They couldn't give me that job.
Yes. So that was a good experience. Yeah.
I mean, Was it hard for you to sleep at night with some of the stuff you
No,
were saying?
not too
or-
bad. I mean, you give a lot of thought, though. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of thought. Yeah, a lot of thought. And I remember one of my friends there who was not in the communication squadron, but he told me that when we were on the ship heading back home, he said, "Billy, I got to tell you," I said, "you know, we had to monitor every phone call that you made home."
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Make sure you didn't
Yeah,
say anything.
yeah. So I said, yeah, okay, well, I understand. Yeah, I did my own foot patrol. I went to the areas over there, and I walked into the businesses and the stores and restaurants, and I introduced myself to them and told them I was the new chief of police, and that you know, to let them know that they had any situation to please give us a call, and so we can deal with those kinds of situations. And so I went all down Central Street, but I also did the same thing in downtown Evanston at that time. You know, walked into the restaurants there, like they had a Sears store back in them days, and yeah, I walked into a lot of those and introduced myself too, and let them know that we were there for them and had anything problems, any situation, to make sure to give us a call. Yeah.
You know, now I have have an understanding about Chief Logan. So, I mean, you came up in a time period. I mean, war. I mean, King marches, protests, and then you come back to Evanston, and you like anything that's going on in Evanston does not compare to what he had to actually deal with out there in the world. So you're like, build relationships. It's about community. Why y'all? There ain't no drama here in Evanston. You know.
Yeah, yes.
Now I get it. I get it.
Yes. Build a relationship with the community, and one of the programs I started was foot patrol programs too, and that was very effective. With officers walking the beats up at the west side and south side of Evanston, and greeting people, building relationships with people. That worked out very well too. Yeah.
So coming back here was just this is a piece of cake.
Yeah.
This is a piece. Evanston's a piece of cake to
Yeah.
what you were typing and seeing what was going on in the world.
Yes. Yes.
Protecting King and whew.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
community and helping people. Tell them the saying that Grandpa used to tell you. It's a destiny.
Oh, that there's a destiny
Yeah.
that makes us brothers. None goes his way alone. What we give into the lives of others comes back into our own. Yes. He told me that very young. Yes. Yeah, there's a destiny. Yes,
So-
indeed.
Your life was about giving, so
Yeah.
that's why you're so rich, and everybody's like, I want to interview Chief Logan. You're like on the list of everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad, of course, he's the one that convinced me not only convinced me, but pushed me to join the police department when I came back from the military, you know, and discharged
Did you
and
have
everything.
other dreams, other aspirations?
I was working at a place called, they made bus and truck bumpers up on Dodge Avenue. I mean, not Dodge, but Dewey and Payne Street. And I was working there. A couple of my friends, we were working there, and they went on strike in the middle of the winter, and we were out walking the picket line. It was cold. We walked the picket line and so forth. And then after a few days, I got home, and I told Dad, I said, I got to find me another job. I said, I can't be doing this. He said, well, look at the Evanston Review. They're hiring police officers, and you're also trained to fight fires. I said, no, Dad, I never want to be no cop. So I left it at that. 3 or 4 days later, come back again, told him, man, it's been freezing out there. I got to find me another job. And he said, I told you what you need to do. So I said, well, okay. So I went down to City Hall, personnel office there, people in the lobby there, and filling out the paperwork and everything. And surprisingly, one of the guys walked out, and he walked over and he said, Bill Logan, don't you remember me? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I was your teacher at the high school. And he was working in that department there, but he said, yeah. He said, it was good to see me, but I got hired, and that's how I became a police officer, yeah.
That was destiny.
Yeah,
That was destiny.
Yes, destiny. Yes, yes.
And one of the things, I don't know if you shared how when you became chief, you know, you said like a message. One of the first officers you had to reprimand or fire was a black officer.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of sent a message to everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
What was
Did you
that?
mention that?
No, I
you
didn't
did
mention that. Yeah, that they had to let him go. Let him go. Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, not showing up for work, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
My brother was in charge. They got it. They okay. We good now.
No, it don't work like we don't
Yeah.
want to talk about him.
Yeah.
Then what was this last note? How you often, maybe you should share with her how when you became chief, how there was fear in the white community of basically you doing to them what they did to us.
Yeah. There was some feedback about that kind of situation. You know, that they didn't really want to see a black chief in the city of Evanston, but yeah, but that all kind of overchanged. You know, and I guess by the things that we did, getting police involved in the community and so on and so forth, and with me too, building relationship with community members, and I got out and walked in some of the communities too, even as chief of police at times, you know, and built some relationships. So I think we kind of
promoted. I mean, were you getting threats, death threats?
No,
coming up there?
No, I didn't get any threats. No, not that I knew of. You know, no.
How did you know that they were against?
Well, I mean, I did hear that some people didn't want to see a black chief of police. I mean, I heard that. Yeah. So, but it soon was over.
It didn't concern you at all?
No, I was going to get in and do my job. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of community support. West side, south side, everywhere. Community, a lot of support with what I was doing. Yeah, a lot of support. Yes. It was a.
So
it was a good tenure.
So you weren't concerned.
Yeah, it was a good tenure. Yeah, with a lot of support from the Evanston community. And I'm not just saying one group or one racial group or one area, but I had tremendous support throughout the Evanston community, and for the department and what we were doing. Yeah, so it was a wonderful feeling, good feeling.
Were there any incidents where you were confronted with those that feared you?
No, no incidents. No incidents.
You've been a very fortunate man.
Yeah, I was very blessed, very fortunate.
Very, very fortunate.
Very fortunate. Yes. Yes.
Do you feel you've been on a mission?
Yeah, it's a good mission. Yeah. And I remember when I decided to retire, but it got a lot of people, calling, supporting me, and asking me not to leave. And I'm talking about people from all over the community, you know, that I got that kind of calls and support. You know, they wanted me to stay, you know. And I appreciated the calls, but it was time for me to make a change, you know, after 30 years. And so I went on and retired. Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of support. Yes, indeed.
It's beautiful
You
to
went to
feel
high
love.
school for 19 years.
Yeah,
Or 20.
20 years at the high school. Yeah, director of safety at the high school. Yeah. Yeah. But the police department was a wonderful career for me, and really a lot of great people that I really appreciated, you know, through the years that I was there. Yeah, and the successes that we had, you know, came from not just me, but not just them, but us all together, you know, in dealing with the problems in Evanston, and particularly that gang problem. Yeah. Yeah.
One of the questions I was going to ask you is, I'm gonna let you go because I know it's getting late. I wasn't planning on being here this long, but this has been a great conversation. I was going to ask, you know, what is it that here that's saying I was here? You know how Beyonce has a song, I was here, leaving her mark. But you've got a ton of them. Goodness. I
I
was going
was
to ask
here.
you that question, but
I was here, huh?
yes, yes.
Yes, I was here. I was there. Yes, indeed.
Mm.
Yes, yes. It was a wonderful career. Wonderful career. And some wonderful people on the department there too. Yeah. So it's not just something on the police department that you can do by yourself. You got to have support from the people on the community, on the department, and I had that. Yeah,
Building
it was good. It was
relationships
good
and good
relationships.
support
Yeah,
is- That's a
Yeah.
that's a gift.
good
A
one.
lot of people don't have that.
Yes, indeed.
You also had a trial with the Cubs. Heard that?
Yeah, way back when I was in high school.
What?
Yeah, just a quick tryout or something like that. But didn't make it. But that's all right. Yes, yes.
But
for it.
he could have became the head of security for the Chicago Bears. He turned that down.
Why'd you turn that down?
Well, I was at the high school then.
Well, tell her how it came about.
I was working at the high school and the safety department. And my classmate, my roommate at the FBI Academy was with the National Football League. It's safety or security, whatever they called it. And so later on, this was the time once I got in at the high school there, and I got a call from him, Chuck. Chuck Jackson was his name, and he said that he wanted to offer me the security director for the Chicago Bears. And he said, give us some thought. And I said, okay, and gave us thought, calling back. He said, okay, I'm going to send 2 people in and they're going to be at O'Hare Field, and then and you can go out there and they'll interview you. I said, okay, so they came in, I went and got the interview, and 3 or 4 days later, he called me and said that the job is yours. And I said, Chuck, no, I don't think so. I said, I go to these games now every Sunday with my friends and everything, and have to be down there so early in the morning and all day long, and then travel also to different cities where the Bears are playing. I said, I'm sorry, I don't think I could take that. So I turned it down. He was very disappointed though. Yeah, but I turned it down. Yeah. Yes.
That sounded like that would have been exciting.
Yeah.
I know your boys were very like, Dad.
Yeah. But I would have lost out being with my friends and all that good
Away from
stuff.
your family.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, tailgate season.
Yeah. It's season tickets. Yeah.
So is there anything you want people out there to know about Bill Logan? One thing you want people to know
What is it I want to know? That
that hasn't been out there? People have their stories.
I don't know.
about Bill Logan.
I don't know what the stories would be, but I just always felt that I wanted to do something for the community, and that's what the organizations that I'm founder of, and the boards and things that I'm on now all these years. All these things have been involved in doing things for the community. None of them were just for me or the other members alone. It's for the community, and that's what all these groups and organizations I belong to. That's what they're all about, and I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, I think we all know that about you.
Yeah.
That's your legacy.
Yeah.
That's your legacy. Tell us something we don't know that would just.
Oh, wow. I don't know what I can tell you then. But I don't know. Yes.
You must be a Scorpio or something. 'Cause he got secrets.
Yeah.
He got secrets.
Oh, yes.
And he is not giving them up.
Yeah. Yes. Are we still on tape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still rolling.
Trying to get your last comment.
Yes. Well, I just really appreciate being interviewed, and it's been really nice to be able to tell you about my background and history and everything, and I still feel that I want to continue on doing things for people as much as possible in the Evanston community. On and on and on. On and on. Yes.
Well, Thank you, Chief Logan. Thank you
Yeah,
so
well,
much
thank
for
you.
your
Appreciate
time
it.
today.
Thank
I
you.
took up a lot of your time today.
Yeah, sometime it's 8 o'clock already.
Well, it's took 10 years to get the interview, so it's not bad.
I know.
Yes,
Thank you
well, thank
so
you too. It
much.
was nice meeting you, and thank you for what you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.